Hi, welcome back to the Dylan Rounds case. So whilst Jim, also known as James Brenner, is in the hands of the police at the moment as the main and only suspect of Dylan's disappearance, some people believe the case is now closed and solved. But that's not quite true, because there is still the possibility that there may be other suspects out there who are involved in some way, who may know of something, or may have even worked with James. You never know. And today, we're going to be taking a look at Chase, his full name being Chase Venstra. As a brief backstory to remember who this guy is, it's an individual known as a fugitive who Dylan came across days before his disappearance. Chase, like stumbling out of the desert with no shoes on, kind of random, and bloodied. Dylan decided to pick him up and drop him off wherever. Now, there were some reports that Chase wanted a ride to Dylan's farm for whatever reason. I can't confirm if that's true or not, but that was briefly mentioned. The fact is, yes, there is danger when it comes to picking up like hitchhikers, people who just come out of a desert with no shoes on, and especially with blood. And it was trying to understand why Chase was in that situation. Has he been hurt or did he hurt someone? Well, as a backstory to his past history, there are some criminal reports about him, which might provide a better understanding of who he is, what he's about, and similarities with James Brenner. Let's take a look. So this was one report by staff, November the 20th, 2014, Venstra Chase, Montgomery. Booking date, November the 19th, 2014. Charge, stalking, assault, violation of protective order, domestic violence in the presence of a child, and interference with arresting officer, Utah. Interesting how it says Utah at the bottom. So it is known within the area of Lucin. So as you saw, Chase has already got a past criminal history of getting into trouble. He seems somewhat unstable, violent, aggressive, etc. A dangerous person to be around, and yet Dylan came across him. In terms of some similarities already forming, with Chase and Brenner, both are violent. So that's worth taking into mind. Now, we don't just stop there, because I have a newer piece of news in which another crime was tied to Chase. Let's take a look at the article. So this is on the website ksl.com. Second person tied to missing northern Utah man faces federal charge. You just scroll down. Here we go. Lucin, Box Elder County. A second person who is believed to have had contact with Dylan Rounds shortly before he disappeared now faces federal weapons charges. You see where this is going. Chase Montgomery Venstra, 41 years of age, was charged in federal court on July the 1st with being a restricted person in possession of a firearm. That complaint was unsealed on Tuesday when Venstra made his initial appearance in federal court. A judge ordered him to remain in custody pending his next hearing on July 19th. Scroll down a bit. The action comes on the heels of a complaint being filed against James Brenner, 58, in the U.S. District Court of Utah for being a felon in possession of a firearm. So you're starting to see some links now. On Wednesday, an indictment was filed against Brenner on the same charge. An indictment is obtained after a case is reviewed by a grand jury. A judge on Wednesday ordered Brenner to remain in custody pending his arraignment on Friday, according to a petition filed by the prosecutors requesting that Brenner remains in custody. He is considered a suspect in Rounds' disappearance. Dylan Rounds, originally from Rigby, Idaho, was last heard from May 28th while in a remote community. According to family members, Rounds lived by himself. Yes, we've seen this before. Family members say he called several relatives on May the 25th after having a weird run-in. with a man on a gravel road, that man believed to be Venstra, was spotted several days later in Montello, Nevada, according to the family. So we're linking back to Montello once again. Rounds was allegedly seen in Montello on May the 26th. So, what does this mean? Is Dylan following Chase, or is Chase following Dylan? Because they seem to be within the same area as one another. Kind of odd. On May 30th, Round's family asked the Box Elder County Sheriff's Office to conduct a welfare check on him. Deputies found several suspicious circumstances, including a pair of Round's boots. That appears, yes, we've seen that. Mud on the tyres, yeah. Scroll down a bit. Federal court documents filed against Venstra state that the Davis County Sheriff's Office and Box Elder County Sheriff's Office served a search warrant on Venstra's West Point residence on June the 12th, in conjunction with a homicide investigation. The complaint does not say which homicide was being investigated, but says 2 firearms were found inside his motorhome. So we're starting to see a bit of a pattern, aren't we? That same day, a search warrant was served on the residence of a person who investigators say was asked by Venstra to hold firearms for him. That sounds like Brenner. 3 firearms were found in a water heater closet in a garage. According to the complaint, a bulletproof vest and ammunition was also recovered, and another firearm was found in a crawl space in a child's bedroom. So, this is interesting. Venstra's criminal history includes an arrest in 2016 in Clinton following a 10-hour standoff with police. Okay, so I clicked the blue link to the new article. It reads, "Man with 5 warrants prompts SWAT situation in Clinton" by Natalie Crofts, posted February the 5th, 2016 at 7:08 p.m. Right, let's just scroll down. Here we go. Clinton. A SWAT situation that lasted more than 10 hours finally ended peacefully Friday, police said. The incident began after police officers recognized Chase Montgomery Venstra, 34 years of age, while out on patrol near 3000 West, 1400 North in Clinton. According to Chief Bill Chilson of the Clinton Police Department, he said Venstra did not respond to officers' attempts to contact him after he went inside a house. SWAT responded to the scene and sent in a robot which located weapons and ammunition inside the home. According to Chilson, he said the robot searched the house room by room and cleared the main floor without finding Venstra. Venstra was eventually arrested without incident and booked into Davis County Jail, according to police. That appears to be a tweet. Police chief, among weapons spotted in house were 2 grenades, at least 1 inert, along with guns and ammunition. Utah. This is very interesting. This person does seem very dangerous with the items they have and the mindset with him. Okay, is there anything else? No, that's it for this article. Let's return back to the original. So following on with the original article, on Wednesday, the Rounds family, in conjunction with the Box Elder County Sheriff's Office, released a statement asking the public to stop searching for Rounds. The law enforcement investigation into the disappearance of Dylan Rounds is ongoing. Law enforcement continues to be in the Lucin area. At this time, there are no organised searches planned for members of the public to participate in that are supported or authorised by the law enforcement. We are asking the public to not search the area as it has the potential to compromise the investigation. It's funny that, because when I mentioned it on my channel, I received resistance from people saying, yeah, well, what do you expect? And yet, you still got these well-established channels and popular people who are liked, who are favoured, who are investigating and boots on ground. And yes, that's a good thing to do. But if this says that they shouldn't be doing it and it's not authorised, then why are they doing it? And why are they allowed to do it? And then why are the general public supporting it, but then having a go at me for me bringing up just the general point about it being called off. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of two-faced with people. Anyway, as a family, we are not asking for or requesting any additional public searches for Dylan Rounds at this time. We request that everyone allow law enforcement to continue their organised investigation without any hindrance or interference. In order to avoid jeopardising the investigation, we thank everyone for their continued support in finding Dylan Rounds. What's this? Correction. Federal court documents say a search warrant was served on Venstra's residence on May 12th. Police confirmed Friday it was actually served on June the 12th. Okay, so that's it for this article. So after reading that article and the additional one with that 10-hour standoff, there are some strong links to be made between Venstra, Chase Venstra, and James or Jim Brenner. Both in possession of firearms from the looks of it at a certain point in time, both violent and have attacked people. The bit in the article I was reading to you then, it said about Chase storing weapons like they were handed to him. Now, I don't know if that was referring to when Brenner came along and said, can you hold these weapons for me? The reason why I'm not saying for certainty is because when I was looking at that previous article about Brenner and stuff, where he got his friend to keep hold of firearms for safety purposes because Brenner had trouble with the police in the past and his items were confiscated. I don't know if that friend basically means Chase or it's a different situation. Regardless, both in possession of firearms, both individuals unstable, dangerous. And with Dylan picking up Chase, unknown at the time to what Chase was responsible for in the past with his criminal history, you're picking up a dangerous individual. You're in a small enclosed space with someone who's unstable. Now Dylan wouldn't have known that, but just imagine if he did. That would have been uneasy, right? The fact that Chase had blood on him, if you didn't know much about him, you might have thought, he might have got hurt, got injured if he's in the desert, he might have been hiking or something, tripped over, banged his head, etc. But because he's got a past history with violence, could he have got into a fight with somebody? Did he kill somebody else? Did he hurt somebody else? We don't know, but it seems more likely with his past record. And finally, another key link between Chase and Jim is both guys were in the presence of Dylan just before Dylan disappeared. Because it's a ghost town and the population is low, not many people are around. Really, it's only those two guys that would have seen Dylan just before he disappeared. So it does make them more of a suspect, tying with their past criminal history, how they act, how they're unstable. Doesn't sound too good, does it? You got Chase getting picked up by Dylan, and then shortly afterwards, Chase appearing in Montello, and then a day later, Dylan turning up in Montello. Did anything happen then? Could Chase have still been there, staying there for a day or two, came across Dylan, wanted to be picked up by him, taken to the farm or something? Did Chase stalk Dylan to the farm? Because it did say Chase had a past history with stalking. So did he do that with Dylan for whatever reason and then took him out? Who knows? With Brenner squatting on the land as well, maybe Brenner may have seen it happen. Maybe Brenner joined in. You never know. Because, you can leave a comment down below, but there seems to be quite a few links forming. Not just with that, but also the firearm possession as well, etc. We'll leave it there for now, okay? That's it for now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.